I get way too many emails from people that just bought a router plate or lift and need to know what these little things are. These are just two of the many variations of router starter pins, and you get one of these with virtually any router plate or lift. If you didn't already know about these little safety devices, you need to sit down and pay attention. You can't use a starting pin and a fence at the same time, so I always remove the fence just to give myself all the room possible. Manufacturers may produce several different styles of router starting bits, but they all work the same way. I think it's a good idea to lay the wood that you're going to use on the table so you can get a better idea of which starting pin hole to use. Router plates will have at least two holes, one to the left, one to the right of the bit, but they may have four, adding one behind and one in front. This lift plate from Woodpeckers adds two more holes. They put those additional holes near the left and right edges of the plate. Moving the starting pin a couple more inches away from the bit makes it easy to start the end of the pieces. With the starting pin farther away, it's a lot easier to get the edge of a narrow piece started on the bit. With a narrow piece like this, I keep it against the starting pin through the whole cut. When cutting the long edge of a piece, I'll often move the pin a little closer to the bit. To me, having the starting pin a little closer to the bit makes it easier to get this side started. And with such a long piece, I can come off at the starting pin after routing several inches at a length. Now looking from the other side, you can see how easy it is to just run the piece along the starting pin into the bit and then follow it along. After the first few inches are routed, you can move the piece away from the starting pin if you'd like. If the workpiece has a shape to it, you might have to come off of the starting pin, but as long as you keep the piece against the bearing for the rest of the cut, you'll be fine. And here's where I noticed that I forgot to route the other short end. It only takes a minute to move the pin to the farther out hole. And then I can start the router and safely finish rounding over that narrow end. With the starting pin in a closer position, I might have been able to get this piece of wood between it and the bit at a steep angle, but this is a whole lot safer. And remember that even though starting pins make these operations safer, you still have to protect your hands, so use those devices.